In this lesson, we're going to use the properties of logs or a calculator to evaluate common and natural logs. Using properties of logs with common and natural logs. All right, so let's go ahead and take out our calculators and find the log key again. Now here we have finding the log of a common log of 366 times 26. And we know it's the common log because you don't see a base there, so we understand the base to be 10. So you can actually do this using the properties of log. So whenever you have multiplication, remember you can split it up into two logs by writing it separately. So it would be log of 366 plus the log of 26. And you would find each log there and then add them together. That's that product property of logarithms. So then if you were to add these two logs together, find their calculations and then add them together, you should get 3.9785 if we're rounding it to 4 decimal places. Now, you could have also just have done this at a much quicker step by simply using your log key, and you can do it all in one. Just press the log key, and then you're going to type in 366 times 26 and hit enter, and it should get you 3.9785. You shouldn't have to find the log of 366 and then find the log of 26 and then add them together. You can do it all in one calculation using the log key. Just press log 366 times 26. Okay, so again, this is just practice using our calculators to do little properties of logs. Okay, so here's another one. It's a subtraction of two logs. So remember, with the properties of logarithms, according to that property, we can combine these into one single log. When you see subtraction, to write it as a single log, it would turn into a division, top divided by the bottom. So you would have log 595 over log 347. But you could also just use your log key and just put log 595 minus log 347 and hit enter. Whichever way you like to calculate it, that would be fine, whether you want to calculate it in fraction form or whether you prefer to just calculate it as it is in subtraction. You'll get the same answer. So what you should get, rounding it to 4 decimal places, is 0.232. All right, so here we're asked to find the exact value of these common logs, and actually you can just use some of what you know about the properties of logs to get the answer to both of these. So with the first one, remember, when you don't see a basis, understand to have a base of 10, and whenever the base of the base when it's the same as the argument part, then it is always going to equal what that exponent is. So I can already see that this is going to equal -4 just by that property of log that states whenever the base is the same as the argument part, that is going to equal what the exponent of that is. So again, this is going to equal -4. All right, and so on the second example, this is really nothing more than, you can look at this as a scientific notation. If you were to write that as a regular number, you would move 1, 2, 3, 4 places over. Another way you can look at it is, again, know that it is understood that this is a common log, so therefore it has a base of 10. if you rewrite it in exponential form using the Snell pattern, it would be 10. And if you were to write this equal to x, so it would be 10 raised to the x power equals 0.0001. Which again is the same thing as, so again, 10 raised to the x power equals 0.0001. That's scientific notation form. You know, what would you need to move the decimal place over 4 places to get that number back to a value? So that would be the same as just -4, x equals -4, because 10 raised to the -4 equals that decimal value. So it's just pretty much using a little bit of information of what you know already. But of course, you could also use your calculator as well. So in the first example, just find the log of 10 to the -4. On the other one, find your log key and press log 0.001. However you'd like to do the finding it, whether you want to try it on your own by using a property to get the answer or use your calculator. All right, using our calculator to find the natural log, we can just simply type the natural log and then do 86 divided by 12, enter. Or we could, you know, use the properties of log. So remember, when you have it in fraction form like that and you have it as a single log, single natural log, we can split that or expand it, rather, that's the correct term. We can expand that to 2 logs, so it would be the natural log of 86 minus the natural log of 12, because remember, you're going to go from fraction form to subtraction when you're using the properties of logs. So yes, you can calculate it that way and find the natural log of 86 minus the natural log of 12 and press enter. Or from your calculator at the very start, you could have just simply typed it in however you'd like to do it. But what you should get is approximate decimal of 1.9694. All right, so recall how in a lot of operations in mathematics, you have to kind of do opposites to undo each other. For example, if you want to solve this equation of 7x plus 5 equals 47, to start solving that, you would have to get rid of that positive 5 there. And remember, the way you get rid of it, you have to do the opposite to undo it. So you would subtract 5. Same thing if you had a radical equation. In order for you to solve that radical equation, you would have to do the opposite of square root, is to square a number. And that undoing process would allow you to remove all of those enclosures and continue to solve. So my point is, in a lot of operations, you have to undo each other or perform opposite operations. And that's the same with logs. The natural log and e, they're opposite. And what they do is they sort of kind of cancel each other out or undo each other. So for example, here in the natural log of e to the x, this is going to cancel out the natural log and e. You're just going to be simply left with x. And then e raised to the natural log of x, again, they're sort of undo each other, and again, you're left with just x. So you just remember that you really don't need to use a calculator at all. But of course, with all of these, you can certainly type it in the calculator, the natural log times e to the raised to the 4/9 power. What you're going to find is, even your calculator is going to give you an output of 4/9, because the natural log and e there, those two operations there, they're going to sort of undo each other, and it's just going to cancel out and leave you with 4/9. In example B, same thing. You could do it on your calculator. Of course, you can, you know, press the E key and raise it to the natural log of 5. But I don't even have to use a calculator to do that, because when the natural log and e cancel out, the only thing I'm going to be left with is a 5. And you'll see that if you do that on the calculator as well, it's going to give you an answer of 5. Same if you were to do this on the calculator, 2 times the natural log of e on your calculator, it's going to give you a value of 2, because when you cancel the natural log and the e out, that's all you're left with is just the 2. So there are some operations, in other words, you can just simply use what you know about the properties of logs and be able to calculate your answers without the aid of the calculator.
Okay, that's it for this lesson. Thank you for watching MVP Tutorials by your instructor, Dr. Speights. I hope you'll join me in the next lesson. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Goodbye for now.